Hello, TVUSD ELA teachers. This is your district TOSA, Michelle Loza, and I'm here today kind of playing around in the sandbox so that I can show you how to create your categories for your common district benchmark assessments and how to put assignments into those categories so that way we have a total of 5% of the total grade for those categories. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to your gradebook and go ahead and click on settings. And because we can't create an assignment until we have a category, we need to create this category. So I'm going to go ahead and put this for all of my sections. I'm going to go ahead and add. And I'm creating the category Common District Benchmark Assessments. And it will be super important that the spelling is the same, the capitalization on each of the words is the same. There's no extra spaces because we want to make sure that we can find this data later on. And I'm going to go ahead and pick that for all of my sections with a weight of 5 because we want this to be 5% of the total grade. And we will go ahead and save that. Now that we've created that category, we're ready to start putting assignments in. So we'll go ahead and click Add to create the assignment. Now, one of the things that I found as I started creating these is that the assignment box will only let me add so much. So the first assignment we'll create, which is a portion of the Fall District Writing Benchmark Assessment, is, and that's why it says FDWBA, Fall District Writing Benchmark Assessment, will be organization. Now, the reason we're going ahead and putting this in 3 parts for the writing district benchmark assessment is that teachers agreed that they wanted students to get feedback on the 3 crucial areas of the rubric and not just a holistic score for everything. So we'll go ahead and put this in as org for short. And we will go down to the scoring type. We're going to do marks. And when we do that, it actually pulls up the rubrics for us. So the majority of our teachers agreed that they wanted the 4-point rubric with a plus or minus because it gave an opportunity to show students more growth. I believe we had 2 grade levels that were using the 5-point rubric, and that's fine. Just go ahead and scroll and find the appropriate rubric for your grade level. And because this is just a portion of the essay, even though we're putting it in 3 parts, it will be a total of 40 points. So we're going to go ahead and save that, leave the multiplier alone. And I'm going to go ahead and close out and then add the new assignment. So now we're going to do it with the second portion of the essay. Now mine are already kind of popping up for me because I've done this a few times because I wanted to practice. So again, we have Fall District Writing Benchmark Assessment, this time in the area of evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and call that EVI for evidence. Again, I'm going marks, and I am going with my 4-point plus or minus rubric. And again, I want this to be 40 points. So now we have 40, 40. We now have 80% of the essay covered, and I'm going to save this. So one more time, I'm going to go ahead and add the last part of my Fall District Writing Benchmark Assessment is in the area of conventions. So I'm going to abbreviate that as CONV. Again, I want my rubric to show up, so I'm going to choose marks, select my 4-point plus or minus rubric, but this time it's only worth 20 points because it's only going to be 20% of that Fall District Writing Benchmark Assessment essay. So again, we will save. So now we have 2.5% of our common district benchmark assessments. We have one more assignment to put in. This assignment, and again, we'll click Add, is the Fall District Final Assessment. So I'm going to abbreviate that as FDFA, Fall District Final Assessment. This time we're going to go ahead and leave the total points alone and put this in as 100. So as you can see with our math, we've got 40, 40, 20 on the writing benchmark. So that's 100 points. Now we have 100 points assigned to the Fall District Final Assessment so that each assessment total is 2.5% of that 5% of the total grade. And we will go ahead and save. So now you're ready to rock and roll. The other thing that you might want to be cautious of, this was somebody else's sandbox I was kind of playing around in, and I noticed that there was already a category created called District Final. Well, now this is our true Common District Final category. So you will want to make sure, especially if you're doing total percentages, that you're not double counting a category, but that you don't have a weighted area where it's going over 100%. We don't want, everything shouldn't be adding up to 110 or 115 or less than that. So if you're going total points, that's okay. And you've weighted that area 5%, that's fine, because then it's still only going to be 5% of your total grade. But if you are doing the weighted categories, you just might want to go back through and double check your math on what each of the categories is worth. So in this case, this area could come out completely. All right. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me, mloza@tvusd.k12.ca.us. Thank you so much.